Spectra, speak. Spectra, speak. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Spectra, speak. Spectra, speak. Good girl. Yes, yes. Those little teeth. Spectra. Yeah, it is. Hey, watch this. Spectra, speak. Spectra. Spectra, speak. 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 Good girl. Yes. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. She's a little manic right now, so I gotta play with her so she'll fall asleep. Spectra, speak. Yes, you good girl. Yes. Yes. I've never had a dog this smart before. She's like 11 weeks and she knows a bunch of commands already. She picks them up in like 2 minutes. She'll learn something new. I'm going to try to teach her to shake later today. Shouldn't be too hard. I guess there's like different types of dog learning, and there's like something called operant learning where your dog tries to figure out what you want it to do by trying out different things until it's rewarded. And it's not super common in a lot of dog breeds, but she does it, and dogos are known for it to some extent. Same with like Belgian Malinois and German Shepherds and stuff. A lot of working dogs. And so it's really easy to teach them because you withhold a reward until they do it, and then you give it to them. So if I want to teach her to shake, all I have to do is kind of sit still and just do nothing. And she's going to figure out, she'll start pawing at me, and then I'll reward that by giving her affection or, whatever, a treat. And then she'll start to learn that that's what I want her to do when I say it. Spectra. 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 Speak. Speak. Spectra. Speak. Speak. I know you know. Speak. Spectra, speak. Good girl. She doesn't know that there's a difference between the whine and the bark yet. So when I tell her to do the speak thing, yeah, this is the new boss. When I tell her to do the speak thing, she sometimes whines instead of barking. Spectra, speak. Spectra, speak. 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 Yeah, you little shit. He's ignoring me now. Actually, they already have the name of the new boss, and there's a picture of it and stuff, I believe. If you go to the website. Thank you. It's hilarious. Whenever people ask what kind of dog I have or what kind of puppy I got, I just tell them it's a dogo. And they're like thinking I'm fucking with them, but it's actually a dogo. That's what it's called. Yes, you're called a dogo. And if I clipped your ears, you'd look like a giant pit bull puppy. Yes, but you're not. Even some vets just call them pit bulls because they look so similar, but they're completely different dogs. Like temperament wise, appearance wise, they're somewhat similar, but their temperaments are like so sweet. And like pit bulls are sweet dogs, but they're super high energy. And high energy can turn into, behavioral issues in dogs, especially if you're an owner that isn't, up for a high energy animal. Yes, yes. But dogos they're just as happy to play fetch with you when you're sitting on the couch as they are to go on like a 5 mile run. But that being said, I walk her like at an airport twice a day, like up and down the tarmac and around the grounds and stuff. Oh man, dude. Yeah, that's yeah. Spectra, speak. Speak. That doesn't count. That doesn't count, you little shit. She'll do commands for treats or without treats. I use treats to train her, but she doesn't need the treats to obey. I don't use treats actually. I use kibble. Her normal food is like it's a ground up kibble with water in it. So normal kibbles to her are like a treat. Yeah, I have a friend who has a couple husky pups. Well, they're about a year and a half now, probably. Uh, yeah, about a year and a half. And they're on a ton of land and stuff, so they have a lot of mountain lion issues. They're in Northern California, and so their dogs are more of a deterrent than pets necessarily. Well, my friend didn't train his. I mean, his dogs will walk on a leash properly, but that's all they know. Otherwise, they just chill out, But yeah, I mean, it's really a pain when you have an untrained dog, man. Like our giant schnauzer has absolutely no training. And if you know anything about giant schnauzers, they're one of the most strong-willed breeds. They're extremely very difficult to train. They're very intelligent dogs, but they're hard. They don't necessarily want to please you. They're more interested in what they get out of it. Whereas like a dogo, like her, she's all about pleasing her owner. Like she just wants to do what you want her to do. And that's kind of her personality, and that's kind of what the breed is known for as well. But giant schnauzers are more difficult, and my dad never trained him because he thinks that a dog that heals properly is a dog that's not having fun. No, dude, you can train a dog at any age. It's easier when they're younger, but you can train a dog at any age. Yes. I mean, you give me 2-3 days with my giant schnauzer, I'll have him walking on a leash properly, but it's my dad's dog and he won't do it. Well, huskies can be a little bit difficult, especially if you're owning them in a city and they don't have a lot of space because they need a ton of stimulation. They are not inside dogs. They're just extremely, oh, that's a sock. Oh, does he try to bite you? Does he try to bite, or does he run away, or is he just excited, or what a little shit. I know she's super tired because she keeps asking to go outside, and then she just lays down right there and does absolutely nothing but try to dig up acorns and chew them. But yeah, why can't you pet the husky? What are you doing? Oh, yeah. He's probably just not getting any exercise, dude. I mean, that dog probably needs a good hour a day at least. of like actual exercise, you know, not just sitting in the house playing tug. He needs to go somewhere and run for like an hour straight before he's going to be interested in any sort of, you know, affectionate interactions. It's just what huskies are, you know. When you get a dog breed, it's like, I guess that person just didn't research it. Because I guarantee if they tired their dog out, it would be a completely different animal. Yeah, that's not that's not good. Their prey drive can get pretty excessive as well, so he should have had the puppy running around with the chickens, but whatever. Our neighbors have a cat that I'm going to be taking her over to pretty much, you know, a few times a week when she's a bit older, just so she can get used to cats and not, you know, try to eat them. Same thing, he just doesn't care, or... Spectra, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? Oh. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah, well, yelling is a reward. And a lot of, even discipline is a reward, depending on the type that you're using, because that dog is probably just looking for attention. So, you know, giving him attention is making him feel like he's doing the right thing. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. She's a tenacious little shit sometimes. Yeah. Spectra, drop it. Drop it. No, she doesn't want to. Good girl. Yeah. You are an absolute mess. Yes, you are. Spectra, come. Come on. Come on. Oh, that'd be a dream dog. Good Lord. Come on. Everyone, like, there's like a horrible stigma around Dobies and Rottweilers, but like, Dobies, I mean, they're really high energy, but Rottweilers, not all of them are. So if you mix the two and you get like a low energy Rottweiler mixed with a Doberman, you'd probably end up with just a super athletic couch potato. Yeah. I was looking at breeds yesterday. I saw something called a Canis Panther. I was like, what the hell is that? I don't even think it's like an officially recognized breed. But it's a Doberman and a Staffordshire Terrier, like basically pit bull mix. Those things, they look disgustingly amazing. Like, such good looking animals. It's insane. Almost a little bit like this, but they're gorgeous. I know. Yeah. Dude, just imagine like the size of a Doberman with like the muscular structure of a pit bull. And like it looks like a bit of a Doberman, but the mouth is wider and its body's like thicker, you know? And they're just gorgeous. Like this dog here, she's going to be very like streamlined. Think like a Dalmatian with more muscle. That's kind of what she's going to look like, but she's going to be bigger than a Dalmatian. She's going to be about 110. Most Dalmatians are, under 70, at least in the U.S. But if she was thicker, it'd be kind of similar to what that's going to be. No, actually, it's the exact opposite. Generally, a mutt is going to be healthier than a purebred, depending on the, obviously, the parents, right? But in a lot of cases, purebred dogs have a very limited gene pool, depending on the breed. If you get a purebred Labrador, let's say, it's a good chance of being a pretty healthy dog. But because that's such a popular breed, the more popular the breed is, the healthier a purebred is likely to be. Because there's a lot of them around, which means it's easy for them to diversify the genes. But at the same time, purebred dogs have limited genes to begin with because they're only bred with other purebreds, which means that you're going to end up with, unless you keep bringing stock in from other countries. Oh, your little dew claw got caught, didn't it? Yeah, I don't know why the breeder didn't cut these, or take them out. When a puppy's born, you can just pull off the dew claws because they're not connected properly yet. And she still has hers, and they're very sharp. Anyway, yeah, purebred dogs have limited gene pools for breeding, so because you can only breed with other purebreds, and then that can lead to health issues. So that's why you actually have to test purebred dogs much more thoroughly in a lot of cases. For instance, these guys here, she wasn't tested for deafness at birth, but she's a companion dog, and she isn't deaf. The only reason she would be tested is if for single ear deafness, which would make her not show quality. And I didn't care about, if she was show quality or not, because Spectra, like she'll look at me, when I say her name, she can hear. But these guys, 10% of the puppies are born deaf. And depending on the breeder, they either put them down or they have a home lined up where the owner is an expert in dealing with deaf animals. Because this is a powerful breed, it can just straight up kill somebody. And if the dog is deaf, they're very untrainable for most people. Same thing with like Dalmatians, they have a similar issue. That's why Dalmatians have such a bad reputation in a lot of cases. And a lot of purebred dogs have some sort of health issue, like hip dysplasia in German Shepherds. They have to x-ray all the dogs, if they're reputable breeders, to make sure that they have good hips before they sell them. Because you could just end up with a dog that its hips go out at a year old, Whereas if you breed something like a Doberman and a Pit Bull, and they're both healthy dogs, even if there's health issues in the breed itself, like I believe Dobermans, they're known for cancer. For instance, mixing the two, you might end up not getting that. So you have a good chance of, if you keep breeding the dogs, breeding out the health issues, as long as they're not shared health issues. You can breed out health issues by, creating a mutt, basically. As far as smaller dogs living longer, that's not necessarily true. A lot of big dogs are long-lived, but it depends on the breed. For instance, she's going to be probably 12 or 13, which is pretty old for a dog. Their average is 10 to 12. If you look at a Dane, though, they're like 7. And most Danes usually die of unnatural causes, oops. What the fuck? One sec. I don't know how to turn the camera around. Oh, there it is. I look like a mess right now because I haven't been sleeping. And I don't do anything but deal with this little shit. Anyway, so, yeah, that's really ancient. But the thing with Danes, for instance, is their stomachs get twisted and they die from that. So they don't even die naturally. They do something to overexert themselves generally, and their stomach twists up, and then they're done. And you can't really fix that. But then, like Dobermans, I believe they generally die of cancer. Things like English Mastiffs, they're just huge dogs, and they have heart issues. But then, there's things like Spanish Mastiffs, where they're about equally big, almost equally big, and, they don't have heart issues. They live quite a while. So It really just depends. It's from breed to breed. It's just that a lot of larger dogs have health issues from because when you're trying to create a large dog, you have to start with a small dog. Like you can't just create a massive breed, right? So if you make something like an English Mastiff, if you're trying to create a dog breed, you have to find a big dog, and I guess bigger dogs generally have more health problems. So if you don't carefully select the dog that you're using to create your breed, then you're going to end up with a breed that has health issues. But like this breed, it's got basically nothing except the deafness, because the breeds that went into it didn't have significant health issues to begin with, as far as I'm aware. And if they did, then they were bred out intentionally. I think this has like Dog de Bordeaux, which is French Mastiff. I think it might have like maybe some Cane Corso. I know it has English Pointer and Great Dane. Spanish Mastiff. Fighting Dog of Cordoba. No, I don't. The neighbors do, though, so I'm going to be, having her hang out with the cat when she's a little older. And she's met cats already, and she likes them. I took her to Petco, and I actually do that quite a lot. I don't put her on the floor because of parvo at her age. She's only 11 weeks. She's only had, one parvo immunization. The breeder didn't give her one. He gave her an immunization, but not parvo. So she's still got like 2 shots left before I can start, taking her places and putting her down where there's other dogs. But I took her into the Petco, and, they have the little wall. Like, they have their separate room, and there's like a wall of crates with cats in them. And they had a cat in one of the crates. They only had one. But I put her right up to the crate, and the cat stuck its nose through the door. And Spectra put her nose up to the cat and started licking it, and they were actually getting along quite well, so that was nice. At this size, she doesn't really see cats as something to be chasing. So if I can kind of keep that going, then she's not going to be trying to get them when she's older. Same with birds. She tries to chase like robins and stuff, but it's not like an aggressive thing. Yet, anyway. I hope it won't be, but she'll be able to catch birds when she's an adult if she really wants to, probably. I took her again to the Petco, and they had some conures, and I just sat there for like 5 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, I just sat next to the conures for like 5 minutes, and one of them started playing with her through the glass, like after it got over being terrified of the little white thing out there. And it started pecking the glass and going like back and forth to the glass, and then she would lick the glass, trying to, say hi to the conure. And it wasn't biting or anything. She was just trying to say hi to the bird, luckily. But I think they might have sold that conure, sadly, because the other one does not like her. And conures can be little fucks sometimes, if you know anything about birds. So I'm hoping that if they get more conures, they're going to be ones that I can just kind of chill out next to for a while and get her used to. And then she's seen a rabbit that she took absolutely no interest in. She's seen a lot of cottontails too, and she doesn't give a shit about those. Our giant schnauzer would definitely love to chase a cottontail. Yeah, I've had 3 birds, and only one of them was nice, and it got eaten by my dogs. We went out with my mom on Mother's Day when I was a little kid, and we had the bird up really high, but we had this dog. It was like a Ridgeback mix. It was my grandma's dog, and I guess it just jumped up and knocked over the bird cage, and then the bird got out and tried to escape, and they ate it. So, that's the only good bird I ever owned. Spectra. 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 You're too focused on your toy, huh? Speak. Spectra, speak. Yeah, she's not gonna obey me for shit right now. Birds can be great pets, but there's so much more work than anything else that you can own. Why didn't I name her Shroud? Oh no. Well, the dog I would have to name Shroud. I'll show you. She'll be fine out here for a second by herself. I actually might try to get him to come out because he's really good at occupying her. He's a good corrector. Like, when she misbehaves, he lets her know that she's being a little bitch, but he's also a lazy fuck sometimes. which is why I know he's going to be laying on the bed like a lazy fuck. This is my dad's dog, basically. And that's pretty much my mom's dog, the little girl right there. And this guy's like 5, just turned 5. And yeah. He does. He's a giant schnauzer. He's like 100 pounds right now, maybe close to 110. My puppy's going to be bigger than him. Isn't that right? Yeah, Mr. Barely Eyes Open. Yeah. He's looked like that since he was a pup, though. He's not going to get up. I can't leave her alone too long because she knows how to dig. She could get out of the backyard in 30 seconds flat if she wanted to. Oh. Hey, Spectra. What are you... Oh. She knocked over the... Hey, shh, Spectra. She knocked over all the yard tools. And now she's like, what the fuck, dude? The reason I'm not comforting her or petting her right now is because that would reinforce this barking behavior and the nervousness that she's like exhibiting. So if I just like let her do this, eventually she's going to get over it and then come over here and start sniffing stuff, and she's going to realize it's no big deal. And that means that she won't do this again. Whereas if I started petting her and everything, that would be like she's behaving herself, which she isn't. And then every time she came out here, she might start barking at the yard tools, you know? Hey, Spectra. Well, I'm gonna let her do that for a minute. It's a mess, but that's because, you know, I moved all my shit into the kitchen to live with the puppy. So there's my monitor, there's my PC. That's basically it. I mean, it's nothing crazy. I've had it since I was 17 and I just upgrade it. It's not like the wires are, you know, beautiful or anything. It's just normal computer. Yeah. There she goes. Alright, yeah, this is really good. Now she's not scared of it anymore. You done? Last night, my mom woke up and started throwing up all over the place, and Spectra heard her from the kitchen and started throwing a fucking fit because she was like wanting to go over to my mom and shit. And then the big boy was trying to escape the bedroom where my mom was. All right, you're not scared anymore, right? You're good now. I can put everything back. Okay. I'm gonna put this back, and she's all of a sudden gonna like jump. Yep. See that? As soon as it starts moving, she's like, oh, what the fuck's going on? It's going again. I don't know who put all this stuff in here, but it's probably not the best. Yeah, see? Yeah, it's not gonna bite you. Alright, that's done. I think if I wedge that like in there, it won't fall over, at least hopefully. Although, I'm gonna take the broom out. Spectra! She's like super interested in anything bristly. I have a video my dad recorded. I haven't uploaded it. I might, if anybody wants to really see it. But basically, we found a broom head from like a push broom out by the airport. There's some junk just out there because it's mostly an abandoned airport. But it was like kind of disgusting. And as we were walking by, I stepped on it on accident and it kind of popped up right near her and she freaked out and she started, oh, good potty, good potty. And she started sniffing it and it poked her because it was bristly. So she had a good 30-minute conversation with the push broom about, you know, how rude it was and that it needed some manners and whatnot. Oh, my mom, yeah, no, she had a really bad cramp and it was mostly just like she was throwing up because the pain made her nauseous. Like leg cramp or some shit. Spectra! What are you doing? I don't love her eating the grass, but it's like the one thing that I let her kind of bite at because it's not going to kill her. And when we first got her, all she tried to do was eat rocks and stuff. So, I mean, she'd walk up to a rock. We don't have any, like, big rocks in our yard, but, like, just imagine a rock as big as her. She'd walk up to it and just start trying to munch it. Yeah, all dogs tend to do it. I think it has something to do with their digestion. I could be wrong. But I think it's actually not bad for them as long as they don't have too much. The real problem with it is, like, you can get tiny mushrooms in the grass and that'll kill a dog. And, like, we have mushrooms in our front yard. We have to keep pulling them up because a lawnmower won't even get them. They're too short. Spectra, drop it. Spectra, drop it. Oh, this is the prize. Drop it. Drop it. Good girl. Good girl. She likes to dig and pull things up, like entire plants. So that big chunk of grass you saw in the dirt, this is the entire thing. She just dug it up and pulled it up by the roots. And this is our Christmas tree. Our big dog likes to pick this thing up and just walk around with it. He's kind of obsessed with, like, carrying stuff because he's a working dog and it's just what they do. Like, he has to have a job. It's, like, ingrained. And those are my shorts. And she's chewing on them. Spectra. Spectra, speak. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. No biting. Hey, stop trying to bite me. Only as a puppy. They're really easy dogs when they're adults. Like, they're super well behaved. They got really good temperaments. They have a prey drive, which is, you know, unfortunate for me, but a lot of people use them for hunting. Yeah, she's just cute all the time. Our old dog found this. He died a long time ago. But we were out hiking and he just found this thing and he just wanted it, so we kept it because it's near a deer carcass. These things are actually worth like $50 at a pet shop though, because they smell like an animal, and they're really good toys for dogs, as long as the dog isn't overly exuberant with them because they can poke themselves. So you have to, you know, supervise it, but this will keep a dog occupied for a really long time, especially a puppy or a small dog, because they can't break it. Like, if our big boy got a hold of this, he'd be able to break pieces off, but, you know. But, yeah, no, these guys, once they're adults, they're really chill. You know, they're called Velcro dogs. They'll just, this one video I was watching about them, like, most dogs, if you let them outside, they want to go explore and shit, right? Like in your backyard or whatever, they have their routine. They go outside, they sniff the plants, they sniff the rocks, they take a shit, you know, they lay down outside. Like our big boy, if I let him out, he'd just chill out there for hours, just sniffing the air. But her, if she can't see me, she's not very happy. And as an adult, if I let her outside and close the door, she'd just sit there and try to get in. Raw diet is actually more of a puppy thing so far as I'm aware, and it's not actually great for dogs in some cases. It depends on the animal. Our big boy was on a raw diet as a puppy, and it did well for him, but raw diets they're not always the best. So You have to know your breed, and you have to know your like your dog specifically. You have to know their allergies and things. And raw diets have to really be supplemented with other things. So when she's older, her diet is going to consist of her kibble, which is, I can show it real quick. She's not going to kill herself on that antler right now, but it's really just basic stuff. It's like I had to sign a contract to feed her the kibble, but it's really important. It has no corn, wheat, soy, dairy, or eggs in it because those are some allergy things for dogs. Although eggs are actually pretty good for dogos. She was expensive. I'm not allowed to get her fixed or any of that. They're very rare dogs, and having one that's bred well is rare. But yeah, I'm trying to find the ingredients on here. Oh, here we go. So yeah, the first ingredient in this shit, if you look at it, it's like deboned turkey, turkey meal, oatmeal, peas, potatoes, brown rice, pea protein, canola oil, which is really good for dogs, pea fiber, natural flavor, fish oil, also really good for dogs, dicalcium phosphate, salt, dehydrated alfalfa. Basically everything in here is like, it's for puppies. It's like a vitamin and a kibble all in one, right? When she's an adult, she'll be eating this one, which is what we grabbed when we first had her, because the breeder had her on the adult food for some reason, and the vet said you just have to be a complete idiot to do that, but that's what she was on. The breeder said it was easier on her stomach as a puppy, so maybe that's why. But when she's an adult, she'll be on the adult food, and then we're also going to buy ground turkey and things like cranberries, and a few other vegetables and stuff. And what you do is you take the kibble, and look at this, by the way. Oh, she's following this, but here, hold on. Spectra. She follows hands like crazy, which is a really good sign in a dog. Anyway, it's gonna be like ground turkey mixed with the kibble, and some vegetables and some fruits that are good for dogs, because not like grapes are poisonous for dogs, right? But and then it's kind of like baked in an oven until it's a solid thing, and then you break it up and you feed it to them. So that's what she'll be eating. So it's like a mixture of a raw diet, and it's supplemented with kibble. That is a terrible thing to do. Yeah, I also have to go to a puppy training with her. It's part of the contract. She has to be licensed as, well, she has to be certified, I should say. Also because of the breed that she is and the price that, you know, she is. It costs the breeder $10,000 to produce and care for each puppy until sale, and he sells them for less than that. So he's doing it as like a hobby, not like, you know, to make money, basically. But I have to take her to puppy training. I have to feed her a certain way. I'm not allowed to get her fixed. Doing anything outside of the contract it would void the contract, and I would owe him, I want to say, forgot, $5,200. Yeah, she's stupid. That sounds really dumb. I mean, I think fennec foxes, a lot of times they'll eat insects, right? Again, she pulled it up by the roots. I mean, you could get by feeding that thing insects or like whatever, but because insects, they have a lot of protein and stuff in them. It's good for animals, and fennec foxes are super tiny, so I'm pretty sure that they actually eat things like that to begin with. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they eat like insects, mice, and things like that. She's watching my toes. Spectra, speak. 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 Spectra. Spectra. Speak. I know you know. I know you do. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Spectra, speak. Speak. Good girl. There we go. She learned that one in like, I think I said 2 minutes. Literally, I sat down and just taught it to her right away. She had no trouble. And she learned sit when she was like 9 weeks. That took about 2 minutes also. And I've already got her doing them without visual commands, so. Yeah. Well, she has a real bark too. It's just she's a lazy little fuck and she doesn't use it very often. You were here when she was barking at that, right? Like, she'll raise hell if she needs to. The big boy that you guys saw in the bed, he didn't bark until he was like months old. Like probably 4 or 5 months old. And then when he finally barked, what do you have? What are you eating? When he finally barked, I didn't think it was him. I thought it was the neighbor's dog because it sounded like this huge adult deep bark. And it wasn't. It was the little shit puppy barking. And he was looking like, all fierce and stuff, thinking he was a badass, and then he walked by a leaf blower on a walk and got super terrified. He's kind of a pussy. He's this like working dog breed. He's supposed to be like a police dog breed or whatever, like, what are you doing? And he's scared of boxes or like anything, literally. He's the most cautious dog I've ever seen. And her, on the other hand, she doesn't like semi-trucks. Like, straight up dislikes them. She doesn't try to attack them. It's just if she sees one, she's like, what the fuck are you doing, And then when someone comes out of the semi-truck, she starts barking at him. Yeah, he's not the bravest. Hey, what do you have? No, you're not allowed to eat leaves because I don't know if this is good for you or not. But yeah, this is why I haven't been doing Dauntless videos, because literally every day is like this. I just have to keep her occupied, and usually my parents walk her in the early morning after they come downstairs because she doesn't sleep. Like, she doesn't sleep through the night, but she doesn't pee or anything. I call it the migration. She starts out, right there on her dog bed, and she'll wake up and incrementally move closer and closer to me. And then she'll go to my legs over there, and by the end of the night, like in the morning when I wake up, she's on the pillow next to my head. So, yeah, no, I don't think it has. I think sometime in August or something. I don't know. Well, yeah, I have to because she won't sleep otherwise. Like, the thing is, if I could put her in a crate and she would behave herself, I would, at least as a puppy. But the problem is, if I put her in a crate, she knocks the crate over. Like, she did that the first night that we had her. We drove to Minneapolis to pick her up from Reno, so 3,600-mile round trip. Careful. And the first night in a hotel, I put her on a crate on the bed right next to me. Like, she could see me, right? Hey, leave it. And, oh, no, leave it. Drop it. Good girl. Well, I'll just not tell my mom about that. Hey, come on. And she was fine with the door open. She slept in there for like a good hour or two, and I thought, hey, this is great. And then she crawled out. So then I tried closing the door, and then she knocked the crate over, and it almost fell off the bed. So I can't put her in crates. She just does not like not being able to get to me. And if I try to put her on a dog bed, leave it. She sits there and cries if she knows she's not allowed to come say hi or sleep with me. And so she's obedient, but she cries the entire time. And even if I could sleep through that, it's just the saddest thing, watching this little puppy be super, super obedient, even though she's really sad. So I was like, fuck it. Like, I'll just let her sleep where she wants. Because as an adult dog, she'll be sleeping on her bed or in my bed because I have a giant bed. So I'm not like super concerned about space. But yeah, she's if it's like dropping things or, you know, she's in something she shouldn't be, she's really like pretty good about that most of the time. Unless it's like a dead animal, which she finds a lot of. I've seen like 10, 15 dead animals since getting her because she's just so good with her nose. But the other stuff, like if I have a treat down and I tell her to leave it, she'll sit there and just cry at it because she knows she can't have it, but she's super sad about not being able to have it. And it's the same thing with sitting on the bed. She knows she's not allowed to leave the bed, but she's still really sad. I wish we had more grass in our backyard. Well, we don't have any, but yeah, she is. You guys haven't seen her in manic mode yet. When I first started the stream, I was trying to get her there, but not trying to get her there. I mean, she was there, and I was trying to show like what kind of a little monster she can be. Because if you see my hands, like all these scratches and stuff. Like my arms are just covered in scratches and bites. Like you can't see them that well, I don't think, and my legs are just all bloody too. Because she gets super, super hyper and just starts biting everything around her. And it's really hard to control her when she's doing that. And even like ignoring her, all she does is come up and bite you. So it's a puppy thing. She's obviously going to grow out of it, but it's like, you know, she goes from like this cute puppy that's kind of derpy and getting into shit she shouldn't be, or like playful and sweet, into like literally a monster that, you know, you'd have to sign a waiver to pet. Because if I had my hand this close to her when she's like that, my fingers would be in her mouth and she'd be biting down hard. It's seriously like she just tries to rip you apart. And it's usually just before she's really like ready to sleep. She just throws a little temper tantrum for like 10 minutes. And the only way I found to deal with it is like put her on her back and have a toy and play with her like a cat. So she can't reach up too far and bite me. And she just goes for the toy and I just tug on it and have her on my lap upside down for like 10 minutes and then she passes out. I think she's gonna poop. Oh, and it's a good poop. Excellent. When you're putting a puppy on new food, their stomachs are so... That's not much poop. That's not much, Spectra. Good potty, though. Their stomachs are super sensitive, so switching food is like actually dangerous to their health, you know? And so you have to do it in increments. You have to put like 1/4 of the new food with all her other food, and then you have to put, you know, after a few days put a third, and then a half, and then 3/4, and then go in increments like that. And this is like her second day on all puppy food, and so her poops, that one's a little loose, you know, but like it's still formed, which is a really good sign because it's improving as opposed to, you know, getting worse. Nobody really wanted to see a dog poop on stream, I bet, but whatever. I wonder if I can... We had to put the tomato plant away because green tomatoes are really bad for dogs, but actual tomatoes are fine. Spectra. She doesn't really give a shit, actually. Spectra. Hey, what's this? Is that a tomato? Is that a tomato? Yeah? What is it? She's probably not going to eat that, but because dogs don't like the smooth texture. But I could be wrong. I think she's just holding it in her mouth, like, what the fuck am I going to do with this thing? Yeah, she has no clue how to treat a tomato. Yeah, she doesn't really give a shit about other dogs, honestly. Like, she wags her tail or she'll bark depending on the dog. When we were at the vet, there was a pit bull, and it was a sweet dog. I mean, it was just shaking its tail and shit, but she barked at it, like, stay the fuck away from us. And then we went to Petco, and there was a Border Collie Rottweiler mix, which don't ask me how the fuck that happened. But she liked it. She nuzzled it and stuff. This is fucking hilarious. She's like chasing a tomato around the concrete. It's probably not great to give her the tomato because it's not in her diet right now, but... Oh, did you eat it? Did you eat it already? You did. Oh man, look at that. You ate the whole tomato. But it's just one little tomato. It's not going to kill her. It's not bad for her. But yeah, the green ones can kill dogs. So can the leaves. So can grapes and grapevines and shit like that. And a lot of plants. So, like, we used to have those grapevines right there. They used to be growing over our fence and all the way down. We had to chop them, which is unfortunate. But, she decided, no, leave it. Leave it. Good girl. She decided she wanted to see what grapes tasted like, and that was not okay. But yeah, dogos, they have, like, on that question with other dogs, and people for that matter, they have to actually learn the body language of other dogs and people to recognize, and other dogs are like this also. Hi, yes, you good girl. Spectra. Spectra. Speak. Speak. I'm being ignored again. They have to learn the body language. They have to learn to recognize body language. And if it's friendly body language, and you socialize them with friendly animals and people, they learn to recognize that that's friendly. And they're good towards that. And that way, when they see something that they don't recognize, like a body language behavior that seems different to them, that's when they'll actually start getting defensive. And that's what you want in a dogo, because they're extremely powerful. So, if somebody tried to rob you with a knife or something on the street, and your dog defended you, if you have a dog like this, for instance, which is not why I got her, by the way. I got her because I love the breed. But if she did defend me as an adult, for instance, nobody would be able to do anything about it. There's nothing you could do. You would be done. In like under 10 seconds, you would be bleeding out on the street and in the hospital. So, and again, that's why you have to socialize them, because they don't tack, but they do defend. And if they try to defend against friendly behavior, that means that they weren't socialized properly. And she wants to go explore the house now. This is kind of her routine. She goes straight to the big boy's bowl because when he eats, he gets kibble in the water. So she shoves her whole face underwater and tries to grab the kibble. So for her, I'm 24 and I've wanted a dogo, this breed. When I say dogo, I mean the breed. I've wanted it for 6 years. Since I was 18, I've wanted one of these dogs. And I knew that they could be, a handful. So I've been researching dog training, dog behavior and stuff. Sorry, I'm getting water, so yeah. For that entire time. And even before then, because our big boy, I was originally he was going to be my dog, but I went away to college. And my parents ended up just taking him, and my dad didn't train him, so, This stuff right here, she's super close to things that she's tried to, rip up and stuff before. Yeah, no, the breed is dogo. Dogo argentino. That's what she's called. And this is This is her trying to get up on the bed, which she's not allowed to be up there, but she's too clumsy to get herself up right now, so that's fine. Leave it. Spectra, leave it. Good girl. She's not allowed up here because it's this little one's kind of personal space. It's where my mom sleeps. My dad has really terrible insomnia, so he has to sleep in a separate room. Because if anything makes noise and wakes him up, he doesn't get back to sleep. He has to sleep with like ocean sounds on and all this crazy shit, like with a humidifier in the room, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, it's the little girl's space, and the big boy's allowed up there because he's just, you know, a lazy fuck and doesn't bother her. But when he was a puppy, we just called him an alligator, you know, because we had to actually fence him off from her because he just tried to bite her all the time. No, hey, leave it. But no, But Spectra doesn't try to bite her. She just tries to play with her, because when they were first introduced, the little girl tried to play with Spectra, and Spectra didn't know what the fuck to do about it because she's so tiny. She was smaller than her at the time. And no, you're not allowed back here. No. Drop it. Good girl. No. So Spectra got all scared, but then after, 20 minutes of them running around together, she realized that it was playing and she wanted to do it. But she's a puppy and she's a little too exuberant for, a 12-year-old mini schnauzer to play with. So that's why Patsy, the little girl, is allowed up on the bed, because Spectra can't get there and she feels safe up there. You want to try the stairs? You want to try stairs? Come on. Let's go. She's not so good at this yet. She's not scared of them. She's just not so good. She kind of goes up sideways and then hits a wall and doesn't know what to do. Yes, you're a good girl. Yeah. No, you're not allowed in there because that's my room and there's paper all over the floor from school. And you're just going to rip into it. I know you are. I know you are. Come on. The going down part is the hard part because she gets too excited and starts running and then slides like into the floor. Come on. Spectra, come on. Come on. Come on. Spectra. Good girl. See, this is what happens. She gets so excited that, oh, this is a little girl, and her name is Spectra. But yeah, she gets so excited that she just tends to tear down the stairs, and then she gets to the bottom, does a front flip, and rolls out on the carpet. Come on. Come on. The first time she got down on her own, she was so proud of herself. It was adorable. Oh, she ran into my leg. Yeah, you're a good girl. Ow. Leave it. Good girl. My phone's pretty low on battery, by the way, so leave it. Oh, no. No. We had to run an Ethernet cable all the way from the modem to the kitchen for internet, so that's why all this stuff is taped and a mess. Leave it. Good girl. No. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. And now she's going to try to go behind the couch. Or just lay. No, she's going to try the couch. I know it. Yep. She thinks she's a cat sometimes. And you're not allowed back there. Because then I can't get you out. Yeah. Because I can't get you out. Oh, this is the manic. Look, see? Look at this. I touch her and she's just going to she's tired right now, but if she gets to full manic, if I even get a hand near her, my fingers are just gone. What'd you find? What'd you find? piece of kibble. Yeah, she found a piece of the big boy's kibble, which is fine. And she's looking for more. Spectra. Spectra. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes. Yes, you are. I don't love her being near that socket, but you have to trust a dog to like... Oh, is that the big boy? It is the big boy. That's why you're trying to get out. Or back in. He has awoken from his slumber and wishes to go on a quest. He's kind of an asshole sometimes. Like I said, he's never been trained, so he's not a mean dog. He's not aggressive. He doesn't bite her, but he's very covetous of his toys, or of any toys. So that toy specifically is one of his favorites, even though it's actually hers, which is probably why he likes it so much. So when he saw her with it, he was like, fuck you, bitch, and grabbed it. And now this is what's going to happen. Okay, so he's going to lay here with this toy, and he's going to completely ignore the toy and her. And she's going to lay here, and she's going to complain about it the entire time because she wants the toy. And if she tries to get the toy, he's going to growl at her. And even though on his part, this is atrocious behavior, and he should not be doing it, I don't correct him because this is teaching her to behave herself around aggressive dogs, like toy aggressive dogs. And he's not aggressive. Like he'll protect his toy. He won't let her have it, but he's never going to bite her. He's not that kind of dog. So it's just not his temperament. But some dogs might attack her if she tries to take their toy. And she might, if she doesn't learn to have toys taken from her, attack other dogs for taking her toy. So when he takes her toy and she doesn't react aggressively, that's a very good thing. And when she doesn't try to take the toy back from him because he growls, that's also a very good thing. And since that's my dad's dog and he's not a pain in the ass as far as attacking or anything is concerned, I'm okay with it. Especially because this guy right here, even if he tried to attack another dog, he's not the kind of breed that is just going to go for the throat, so to speak. He's not going to, he'll bite him and stuff if he's actually in a fight with another dog. But even when he's been attacked by a pit bull on a walk, like my dad was talking to someone who had a little dog and a pit bull ran out and tried to maul the little dog and get at the big boy, which is not in the pit bull's best interest, to be honest. But he wouldn't be able to do a ton about the pit bull. I mean, he might be able to submit it or something, but he's not a fighting dog breed, And her, on the other hand, even though she's not a fighting dog breed per se, she has fighting dogs in her pedigree. And if she got into an altercation with a pit bull, there's a good potential there wouldn't be a pit bull left at the end of it. Through no fault of hers, the pit bull was being an asshole. And I'm using pit bull as an example, but, substitute basically any dog breed. And this little girl wouldn't have a problem with it. And you might be dealing with a very upset dog owner, an irresponsible dog owner, but an upset one. So it's very important that she doesn't get aggressive about things. Because if I socialize her well, even if a dog does attack her, she'll submit the dog and hold on to its throat, but she'll wait for me to come up and deal with the situation, as opposed to killing it. Which is a danger with these guys. Like I said, if they're not socialized, they'll kill a dog in 10 seconds flat. If they're attacked viciously. But generally, they're very good with dogs. That's one thing they're actually known for, is just loving other dogs and loving people, so. I wouldn't feel horrible if she killed another dog because it tried to murder her or me, but it just wouldn't be an ideal situation. And I can't give her affection right now because that would be reinforcing this behavior. Same with him. If I pet him right now, that's saying, good boy, you're not letting her have a boy, which is not good behavior, but, you know. What's up, dude? My phone's going to die in a couple minutes, but hopefully she'll be asleep by then. I might hop on Dauntless after that. She's getting pretty tired. He does not like that. He's growling and everything. If there was no toy around, he would be perfectly fine with her. Like, he loves her. But, like, they nuzzle each other and everything, but since there's the toy, and he's just being a little dick. Spectra. Hi. Hi. I know he's being mean to you, isn't he? He's just the worst. He's just the worst. Wonder how your sting is. Is your sting better? Yeah, a little bit better. She had a bee sting on her chin or something, and she had another one on her lip. I think the one on her lip is gone. And she's got all this crap. We think this is... It's kind of scabbed up. We think it's ants, because she just goes for them all the time and just tries to eat them, basically, but sometimes they get on her. Oh, see, this is the manic, frustrated kind of puppy.